Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Matt, and I'm back with another review. This one's gonna be for Arrow, Season 6, Episode 1. And before I get into the review, I just want to start by saying I can't believe this is Season 6 already. The first time I watched the show was actually during the pilot episode, the very first episode, when I was a sophomore in high school. I remember coming home from school, taking a nap, waking up, and it was like 8 o'clock, and I was watching the show, and I was just like, wow, this gives off a lot of Dark Knight mixed with Lost vibes, and I'm really feeling this show. And ever since then, it's just took off. Well, until season 4, as we all know, was complete trash. But seasons 1 to 3 were good, and season 5 was just ultimately epic. I wish I had reviewed that season, because I would have probably gave every episode a 10 out of 10. But enough about the previous seasons. Let's get into this season and this premiere. So the beginning of this episode starts off in the most Arrow way possible. Oliver shooting a bunch of arrows at a bunch of bad guys. And I just want to mention, where does he stand on the whole no kill thing? Because a lot of those shots look like kill shots. I was looking at the arrows, and most of them were in those guys' chests. So I don't know where he stands on that. But in this same scene, we get a look at Wild Dog's new suit, and for a split second, I actually thought it was Vigilante suit, but in the second after, I realized, oh, that's Wild Dog, because he said horse. And speaking of that, why does Wild Dog say horse so much? Like, I feel like it's becoming forced. I guess he needs a catchphrase, but he doesn't need to say horse after every single sentence, like horse, 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 horse. I don't know. That's a little bit forced to me, but Curtis throws a T-sphere that blows up with that False Skies missile. And then in the next scene, we see Reza again, the maid from, I believe she was in the very first episode, and that was the last time we saw her. So we haven't seen that actress for 6 years. And in the same scene, Oliver visits his son William, and William's very, very distant from Oliver, which makes sense because it's an awkward situation for him, because you have your mom for so long, and then you get kidnapped, and all of a sudden you find out your dad's a superhero that used to kill people. And on that same day that you find that out, your mom dies. So it makes sense that he's very distant from Oliver. But something I want to mention in this scene is the part where he says "Good night, Oliver," not "Good night, Dad," because that's to William, that's not his dad at all, because he wasn't in his life. He didn't know him until that island. Rather, he didn't know he was his dad until that time, and that hurts Oliver. But I think Oliver understands why William would feel like that. But yeah, it hurts Oliver, but I think he understands. So I just wanted to mention that. Anyway, Black Siren breaks Faust out of the SCPD, and I was just wondering how nobody saw a bunch of guys with M4s and bananas and a blonde chicken leather coming. I know they're short-staffed because of the whole graduation thing, but they should have better security than that at a precinct. Like, come on. Then in that scene when Oliver goes to drop off William to school, we gotta look at William's flash backpack, and I can't help but to imagine how pissed off Oliver must be at this, because he's not. Because first of all, Oliver's not William's favorite dad, and not his favorite superhero. So that must be like, wow, I can't even be his favorite superhero either. But anyway, it cuts to a flashback of Leanne Yu, and as Oliver's looking for Thea and Samantha, we just see Slade walking for some reason. I thought he said he would take his chances. Like, why wouldn't he be off the island by now? Why was he walking in that vicinity that Oliver just happened to be in? I just thought that was kind of weird. So then we get this highway fight scene, and Dinah uses her canary cry on Black Siren's truck. And then Black Siren comes out and says, "Nice outfit, I would have gone with fishnets." I thought that was a nice little reference to the comics, because as you guys may know, Black Canary wears fishnets, part of her costume. But Yeah, so Oliver and John and them, they're fighting Black Siren's goons, and then Wild Dog gets caught up in this situation where he's facing down one of the goons and he's about to shoot him, and John freezes up and he just misses his shot. And something I had to mention is, why are the bad guys in this episode taking so long to shoot? That guy that was in front of Wild Dog, he saw him there for like 10 seconds and he didn't fire. Like, what took him so long? And here we also get a look at Dinah's new suit, and I gotta admit, I don't like it. It looks very bland and basic and just boring. And maybe it's one of the worst suits in the whole Arrowverse so far. I don't have all the suits in my head right now, but from what I can remember, it's definitely one of the worst. The only worst thing in the Arrowverse is probably John's helmet or his Mega Man cowl, whatever. But anyway, a few scenes later, Quinn drops this big truth bomb and he says, "Oh, on that island, Black Siren didn't die." Ooh, like we didn't see her for the first half of the whole episode. Oh my god. But nah, let me stop. But I feel like the subplot was dragged out a little too much. Like, this could have been handled the first time it was brought up. We knew she wasn't dead, and Dinah's reasoning for not telling everyone was that she wanted to spare Quinn the pain of killing his own daughter. But it's not his daughter. She's an evil person from a different Earth, and he doesn't get that. But I guess it's hard for him to understand because she looks just like Laurel, because we know that's her doppelganger. But I feel like they're dragging this out a little bit too much. So then we get another flashback with Oliver and Slade, and Oliver's looking over at Thea like she's dead, and for a moment I thought she was actually dead, but then I was like, nah, there's no way they can kill the whole Queen family and leave Oliver by himself. But as Oliver's looking over at Thea, Samantha comes walking, and I thought this scene was a tiny bowl of bullshit. Nah, it was a big bowl of bullshit, because she was walking over to him after the whole explosion thing, and how does she have enough strength to walk over, and then like 5 seconds later she's just dead in his arms? That was kind of bullshitty to me, because that's like a big that's like a big shift she made. She has enough strength to just barely be walking, then 5 seconds later she's dead. That made no sense to me. Something else I didn't like was in the next scene when Quinn and Oliver came out after Oliver gave his graduation speech to the graduates, and then they go in the mayor's office, and Quinn's just like, "We all know this parallel universe crap is crap." And how is it crap, dude? You've seen speedsters, your daughter's a freaking time traveler, you've seen guys use telekinesis like he's using the Force like he's Darth Vader, and you're talking about the parallel universe is crap. Like, dude, what? And hasn't Oliver told you by now that he's stopped aliens? I just don't like where Quinn's coming from this episode. I know he wants to deny that Laurel's dead, and like the Laurel he's seen now is his Laurel, but it's just getting annoying to me. And yet another thing that I don't like, well, it sounds like I'm hating on the show now, but trust me guys, I'm not. When Black Siren broke in and that grenade was right by John's foot, how did that grenade not kill him? It was right next to his foot, and it blew him like 10 yards across the room, and he didn't even have a scratch. How did he not die from that blast? Do grenades just not work in the Arrowverse or what? So then we get this last scene in the bunker, or as I like to call it, the quiver. And John's fighting off the mercenaries, and the mercenary that asks Black Siren, "Can I kill him?" He's in John's face after he misses the shots from his sort of PTSD related something. I don't know completely what it is yet, but anyway, he misses the mercenary because of his PTSD or whatever. And then this mercenary decides to hit him instead of shooting him when he's right in front of his face. And he decides to say something to him instead of killing him like a typical bad guy. That's all I needed was a mustache, and that's all I needed to do was twirl it at that point. But yeah, the bad guys in this episode, they take a really long time to shoot their guns. I noticed that. So then we get this final fight scene in the bunker, and I noticed the show uses a lot of one-shots, and in this it felt a little bit awkward to me. Like some shots felt like they lasted maybe 2 seconds longer than they should have. I don't know if that's just me or just like a little bit awkward. So one of the last scenes of this episode, Oliver walks in on Thea, and we see that she's still in critical condition and unconscious. And then Slade comes in, and he's having this emotional conversation with Slade, and Slade mentions how Oliver gave him the intel on his son Joe. And I just couldn't help but to think, like, dude, this guy killed your mom right in front of you. And you're having this deep conversation with him. I know, I thought it was kind of funny, but after everything that's happened, I can understand. But it's still, Slade stabbed a sword through your mother's heart right in front of you. But yeah, in the last scene, Oliver finally connects with William, well, to a degree, and William agrees to watch the baseball game with him. And finally, we get this scene where there's an ultimate cliffhanger, and everybody knows Oliver's identity. He is the Green Arrow. And this was like a mid-season finale type of cliffhanger. I was not expecting this at all. This is like some episode 9 mid-season finale type of stuff. And it got me really hyped to watch the season. But yeah, this episode was pretty good. There were some dull moments, some moments that were a little bit too dragged on, but it was pretty good. So I'm gonna wrap this review up here. I'm gonna give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. And I want to ask you guys something. Which Arrowverse costume is your least favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, please feel free to like it. If you guys want to see more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe. And with that being said, I will catch you guys next time. Peace.